हरे ओम ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णदुष्टाय भूतले श्रीमते श्रीराम नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाचार्य विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशकारण्य श्रीकृष्णचैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. So here one important understanding that our understanding perception of right and wrong is based on our false ego. So we have a certain understanding of what is right and what is wrong. And Shastras are helping us to come out of that conditioning. So everybody has their right and wrong perceptions, which is ultimately wrong. So we have to accept this very clearly. And then we'll be able to come to the proper understanding. So here, when we are hearing Bhagavatam, they are giving us the absolute understanding of what is right. So it's not relative. What is right for me may not be right for you. What is right for you may not be right for some other person. So if you look like that, then on what basis you can say right and wrong? So here what Bhagavatam says is always 100% right. So we should accept things based on what Bhagavatam is giving. And the whole sadhana is for that only, to help us come out of this conditioning of right and wrong, which is the greatest challenge. So, when we are hearing the prayers, this will make us come out of our wrong misconceptions, wrong understandings. So, we heard about the prayers from Bhadrashrava, then we heard the prayers from Prahlad Maharaj, and so these are the he offered prayers to Narsingadev, and now we are having Lakshmi ji. She is offering her prayers, and for her the most important thing is there is only one Purusha. For Prahlad Maharaj, he is actually when you see Bhadrashrava, he is talking about real knowledge. When it comes to Prahlad Maharaj, he is talking about detachment from family life. And Lakshmi ji is telling, Are only Purusha is Lord Narayana. So don't go to any other person. It is foolishness. So only husband can be Krishna only. Any other person you are taking as husband, so then it is a disaster. And so there are nice verses by Lakshmi ji. So we will again just revise her. So in Ketumala Varsha, Lord Kamadev moves very graciously. His mild smile is very beautiful, and when he increases the beauty of his face by slightly raising his eyebrows and glancing playfully, he pleases the goddess of fortune. Thus, he enjoys his transcendental senses. So, these are actually the verses. If uh, basically what happens is people who perform this marriage ceremony and all, they take some verses or something from the shastras and then they recite for the auspiciousness of the marriage. So the best auspiciousness of any marriage, that is the system that is followed to help the people understand, and also they explain the meaning. So I was thinking these are the verses, these are also some of the verses that can be included in the marriage ceremony so that they understand, yes, the real Purusha is the Supreme Lord. So they can see what is the prayer she says. So Tad Bhagavato Maya Mayam Rupam Paramasa Samadhi Yogena Rama Deve. So Rama Devi is offering her obeisances. So first thing he says, Om Him Him Hum Om Namo Bhagavate Rishikeshaya Sarva Guna Vrisheshayir Vilakshitatmane Akutinam Chittanam Chetasam विशेषाणां शाधिपत्ये षोडश कलाया छन्दो मायायान् मायामृता मायाया सर्वमाया सहसे ओजसे बलीया कान्ताया कामाया नमस्ते उभयत्र भूयते. So this mantra can be chanted not 8 times before. So basically, this mantra is telling, let me offer my respectful obeisance unto Supreme Lord Rishikesha, the control of all senses, the origin of everything, the Supreme Master of all bodies, bodily, mental, intellectual activities. He is the only enjoyer of all results. The five sense objects, 11 senses, including the mind, all is practical manifestation. He supplies all the necessities of life, which are his energy, and thus non-different from me. He is the cause of everyone's bodily and mental prowess, which is also non-different from me. Indeed, he is the husband and provider of necessity for all living entities. The purpose of all Vedas is to worship him. Therefore, let us all offer him our respectful obeisances. May he always be favorable towards us in this life and in next. See, like say you went to Vrindavan, say for example, and some devotee said, "Oh Prabhuji, I have my house there. You can stay for some days. You are going there." And there are some facilities also. You have the kitchen is there. You can cook, have prasadam, and air condition is there, and so many facilities are there. You can stay there. It's a very nice luxurious apartment. Now when we go there, we are always conscious, and we are staying in some other's place, and now we are in dham. We don't want to do any sense gratification there now, because if it is my house, I will do sense gratification. If it is somebody else's place, and that too in a dham, we'll be little more careful and conscious also. Now uh, the point is, nothing belongs to us in there. We are knowing it. And how much careful we should be when we are handling the things. Similarly, this body is also like that only. This body is given by the Lord. He is only maintaining it. He is only making all the systems work in the body. None of us are making any systems that work in the body. Digestion, breathing, and kidneys are working, liver is working, and small intestine, because heart, everything is working because he is making it function. None of us, we don't know how it works also. Even if you know also, we cannot do anything. We just have to depend on him. You're understanding. So now, how fair it is to utilize this body for a selfish purpose. We should utilize this for the person, at least he is expecting us to use it properly. So that is why people doing sense gratification, why they get punished, is because you are enjoying somebody else's property. We don't deserve. It's not anybody else. But the system, Lord, what he gave is, he said, okay, you follow certain dharma, I will help you to allow that enjoyment. Not a problem. So, without doing proper dharma, artha, kama, and then moksha. So, without that, it is not correct. So, here very clearly we can see, you see, everything is by Lord only. The control of all my senses. Who is controlling? Krishna only. He is the original. Master of all bodies, mental and intellectual activities also. Bodily, mental, intellectualities, he is only the master. He is the only enjoyer. So it is all his property. Five sense object, 11 senses, mind. He is the supplier of necessities of life. Air he is giving, sunlight he is giving, water he is giving, which are his energies. And there's none different from him. He is the cause of everyone's bodily and mental prowess. Like say now, if invaders are coming, some invaders came and destroyed so much in India and different parts of the world. Now, who is giving the mental and physical prowess to that invader who is conquering and ruthlessly killing so many people? Who is giving that? Very clearly told, it is Krishna only is giving. So that is the Kala Rupa of the Lord. It is the time form of the Lord which comes in the form of such uh, such personalities, so that the things are settled in this creation. So it is my karma transforms into that personality, and the Kala makes it come at that time. Say in this country, all the people they are killing animals. Now it becomes it becomes a accumulated karma, and then there will be suddenly some war happens, and all the citizens they are getting killed. Now so many wars are happening in the world. Now is the fault of that person. Now what happened? Their karma got accumulated, and the time factor manifested in that form, and that's the reason we see that the dictator or the ruler or the invader or the whatever who is attacking, he is the personification of time for this living entities. Like we say na, they are the agents of karma. So agents of karma infused by time manifested that, like that. So here also, why we are discussing, because very clearly he is the cause of everyone's bodily and mental prowess, which is also not different from him. Like say, I am speaking, who is giving me the energy to speak? I am able to think, who is giving that energy to think? That's why he is the husband and provider of necessities for all living entities. That's why he is Purusha. He is the husband. So it's very clear. And next shloka she says, my dear Lord, you are certainly the fully independent master of all senses. Therefore, all women who worship you by strictly observing vows because they wish to acquire a husband to satisfy their senses are surely under illusion. They do not know that such a husband cannot actually give protection to them or their children, nor can he protect their wealth or duration of life. For he himself is dependent on time. You see, this is all dependent on time through two activities and modes of nature. So, three things are controlling all of us: time, we are dependent on fruitive activities, the results, and the modes of nature. So, this fruitive mentality is very strong in all the living entities. Now, anything happens, like uh, people are so much into sports results, election results. Why they are interested in that? Because that is a fruitive mentality that is controlling them. We have to come out of that fruitive mentality. Then that is the success. It should not matter for us who is winning, who is losing. If we can come to that stage, because who decides who will win and who will lose? It's not our endeavor, it's Lord who decides. So if we are clear, no matter what results comes, we remain peaceful because we are more interested in what Lord wants. Means I am giving this, even devotees from childhood, this conditioning was there. India Pakistan match. So if who is winning, India or Pakistan, it should not matter because it's Lord's desire that it should happen like that. If Lord wants that, say Pakistan should win, let it be. Na, why I should be upset? I am giving this example because that conditioning is there. Even though uh, after so many years, also still, if somebody says that okay, India won against Pakistan, there is some subtle pleasure that comes. So the point is, it is fruitive mentality that is holding us. Your understanding. So my children should get first rank, good marks, good. That is not a problem. We should desire, but we should not expect that this should come like this only. This should come like this. No, no. It will come what Krishna wants. What result? It is not in our hand. Hard work is in our hand. We have to work hard. If it does not come, if Krishna wants like that, let it be done. We should be happy with Krishna's, what do you say, Krishna's desires. That is what is surrender means. Uh, at least this, for especially for grihasthas, of course, brahmacharis also, but more grihasthas, they have this fruitive uh, mentality so much because we have to work in the outside world. That's the reason it becomes we get affected by it because we get social pressure. uh, what the colleagues, how much they are getting salaries, how they are performing, about neighbors, about relatives. So they all always keep us in this Rutu mentality. So we should be very carefully observing ourselves and trying to come out of it. Because anything we do, we expect something in return. Like say I nicely taken care of my wife or husband, then we expect from husband and wife also that they should also do nicely. And more with the children. I did something for children and children should also do for me. Which is like not going to happen all the time. So we are affected by modes, fruitive results, and time is anyway there only. So here Lakshmi Devi is saying, Array, if they are themselves affected, how can they protect? So Krishna is the real husband, not only for of the gopis, but of every living entity. And therefore, anyone who seeks a material husband for protection, or any man who desires to become her husband, is under illusion, Prabhupada writes. And says, as long he alone, who is never afraid, but who, on the contrary, gives complete shelter to all fearful persons, can actually become a husband and protector. Therefore, my lord, you are the only husband. See, who is never afraid, gives complete shelter to all fearful persons. No one else can claim this position. If you were not the only husband, you would be afraid of others. Therefore, persons learned in all Vedic literature accepts only your lordship as everyone's master and thus think no one else as better husband and protector than you. So what is the criteria giving protection? The person who is giving protection should himself be fearless. If I am fearful, how can I give protection to others? So that's why Abhaya Charanara Vindare. So Abhaya Charan, Lord's lotus feet are which gives, which makes us free from fear. And that is the great, most important thing. All this world is working out of fear only. Why do we earn money? Because we are fearful. If I don't have money, how will I stay? What will happen to me in future? Why persons get, why they want house, family? out of fear that I need some shelter. Why we eat? We are fearful of becoming sick. So this world runs out of fear. But if a person takes shelter of Krishna, then he knows that now Krishna will take care of me, not my insurance companies, not my bank balance, not my family and relatives, friends. So they are all infallible. So Prabhupada writes a very wonderful purport here. We already discussed. So very clear understanding. Nate viduswardhagatim hi Vishnu durasyaye bahirarthamanina. So the shloka Savai. So this is 21st shloka will start. या ते शते पादसरोरुहारणम् निखामयेत्साखिलकामलम्पटा तदेव राशीपशितम् ईप्सितो अर्चितो यद्भग्नयाचना भगवन् प्रतप्यते. My dear Lord, you automatically fulfill all desires of a woman who worships your lotus feet in pure love. However, if a woman worships your lotus feet for a particular purpose, you also quickly fulfill her desires, but in the end, she becomes broken hearted and laments. Therefore, one need not worship your lotus feet for material benefit. Wow, such a nice verse. He says that you automatically fulfill desires of a woman who worships your lotus feet in pure love. However, if she is worships your lotus feet for a particular purpose, I want to have good husband, I want to have good children, I want to have good house, good this. You quickly fulfill her desire. But if you ask for any of these things, good husband, good children, good house, good this, good that, she becomes broken hearted and laments. So that's what I was trying to tell. We have our understanding of what is right and what is wrong. And based on that, we try to adjust things and try to ask the Lord according to that. But Lord knows what to give. So therefore, one need not worship your lotus feet for some material benefit. Let Lord decide what we need. We need not ask Him separately. That is the most important thing. If we ask, we will be broken hearted. And Lakshmi is especially referring to women, but it is applicable to men also. Uh, so even though she is telling for women, it is equal. Broken hearted and laments. So anything we take material, what is wrong? If husband is good, he will take care. Yeah, he will take care, but one day he has to leave his body also, right? So then person will become broken hearted and he starts lamenting. Sometimes husband is not good, that causes broken hearted lamentation. If he's good also, it causes broken hearted lamentation. So in any case, there will be broken hearted and lamentation. Rupa Goswami say, Prabhupada writing, Rupa Goswami describes pure devotional service as Anyabhilashita Shunya. So to serve the lotus feet of Lord means to serve him exactly as he desires. The neophyte devotee is therefore ordered to worship the Lord strictly according to the regulative principles given by the spiritual master and the Shastras. By executing devotional service in that way, he gradually becomes attached to Krishna, and when his original dormant love for Krishna becomes manifest, he spontaneously serves the Lord without any motives. So, Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Yejana Paribhashate Tesha Nityaviktanam Yogakshema. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti explains that even if a devotee wishes the Lord to fulfill a particular desire, the devotee should not be considered a Sakama Bhakta. So, Akama sarva kama mokshagama. So many shlokas Prabhupada is quoting. Kama istasthir hitajnana prapadyanti anna devata. So Prabhupada writes very important. Lakshmi Devi advises all devotees who approach the Lord with material desires that according to her particular experience, the Lord is Kamadev, and thus there is no need to ask him for anything material. She says that everyone should simply serve the Lord without any motive. Since the Supreme Lord is sitting in everyone's heart, He knows everyone's thoughts, and in due course of time He will fulfill all desires. Therefore, let us completely depend on the service of the Lord without bothering Him with material requests. Very important point. See what we should depend upon in this world. This is what clearly explained by Prabhupada is making it so clear. So, what should be our dependence? So, this is completely depend on the service of the Lord. So, this should be the shelter. That means our service is our shelter. We have to put all our heart in our service and take that as the shelter. Like people are taking different shelters in this world, but ultimately they are getting cheated. So, shelter in terms of shelter of money, family, society, and so many other things. But we should take shelter of the service. That means we give our heart. Shelter means another thing is giving heart. What does taking shelter means? We are giving our heart to that person. That means we should give our heart to the service of the Lord. So we should give our heart means when we are doing any of the spiritual activities, chanting, hearing, deity service. So we should put all our heart and do that activity. That means we are taking shelter of that activity. And in due course of time, He will fulfill all desires. Lord will take care what need to be given or not. So now this is the service. My service is to speak, your service is to hear. So we put our heart in our service in doing this, and then that is actually our shelter. So every day hearing Bhagavatam is our shelter. Every day serving the deities, chanting the holy name is our shelter. That means when we do that activity, we have to put all our heart, mind, soul, everything, and then do it. That's how it works. Matprapate jesha suradayas tapyanta ugramatapa andriyediya rite bhavatpadaparayanā namam विन्दन्त्यहं त्वद्दधया यतोचित. She says, O supreme uncontrollable unconquerable Lord, why they become absorbed in thoughts of mental enjoyment, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, as well as other demigods and demons, undergo severe penance and austerities to receive my benedictions. But I do not favor anyone, however great he may be, unless he is always engaged in service of your lotus feet. Because I always keep you within my heart. I cannot favor anyone but a devotee. So Lakshmi is telling the greatest benediction she gives is to devotees only. Prabhupada is writing. In this verse, goddess of fortune Lakshmi clearly states that she does not bestow her favor on any materialistic person. Although sometimes a materialistic person becomes very opulent in the eyes of another materialistic, such opulence is bestowed upon him by goddess of Durga Devi, a material expansion of goddesses of fortune, not by Lakshmi Devi herself. Very interesting. So now all the top big rich people, successful people, so they are materially very opulent in the eyes of another. Such opulence is not by Lakshmi, it is Durga Devi. Very nice point. Those who desires material wealth worship Durga Devi with following mantras. Dhanam Dehi, Rupam Dehi, Rupavati, Bharya Dehi. Oh, worshipable Mother Durga Devi, please give me wealth, strength, fame, a good wife, and so on. By pleasing goddesses Durga, one can obtain such benefits. But since they are temporary, they result only in Maya Sukha, illusory happiness, as stated by Prahlad Maharaj. Maya Sukhaya Baramudbaho Vimudhan. Those who work very hard for material benefits are Vimudha, fools, foolish rascals, because such happiness will not endeavor. On the other hand, devotees like Prahlada and Dhruva Maharaj achieved extraordinary material opulence, but such opulence were not Maya Sukha. When a devotee acquires unparalleled opulence, they are the direct gift of the goddesses of fortune who resides in the heart of Narayana. So, very nice one. Prabhupada writes, material opulence a person obtained by offering prayers to goddesses Durga is temporary. Antavantu phalam tesham tad bhavati alpamedasam. Prabhupada writing, we have actually seen that one of the disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur wanted to enjoy the property of his spiritual master. And the spiritual master, being merciful towards him, gave him the temporary property, but not the power to preach the cult of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world. That special mercy of the power to preach is given to a devotee who does not want anything material from his spiritual master, but wants only to serve him. Wow. Prabhupada is talking about here Bhanu Maharaj. Pawn Maharaj. He went to preach in the West. What he did, he took the property of, he wanted to enjoy the property. He took so much property was, money was given to him for preaching. But what happened? He he took that property and purchased. If you see in front of ISKCON temple in Vrindavana, Krishna Balram, there is Born Institute. That was all purchased by him only. And later on, he could also not keep it. It was taken over by government. That is a different thing. So, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur gave him this is temporary property, but not the power to preach. He gave him so much property, but not the power. Power of preaching, whom he gave, proper right to him only. But the special mercy of the power to preach is given to a devotee who does not want anything material from his spiritual master, but wants only to serve him. This story, so Prabhupada didn't want anything, so the power to preach is given to him. The story of the demon Ravana illustrates this point. Although Ravana tried to abduct the goddesses of fortune Sita Devi from the custody of Lord Ramchandra, he could not possibly do so. The Sita Devi he forcibly took with him was not the original Sita Devi but an expansion of Maya Durga. As a result, instead of winning the favor of the real goddess of fortune, Ravana and his whole family was vanquished by the power of Durga Devi. Sishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha. Wow, such wonderful purports. Prabhupada is like giving class only here. Satvam mayapya achyuta srishnivanditam karmambujam yatvat adhaya satvatam bibrasi mam lakshama varena mayaya ka ishwarasyehitam उहितुम विभुर इति. O infallible one, your lotus palm is the source of all benedictions. Therefore, your pure devotee worship it, and you very mercifully place your hand on their heads. I wish that you may also place your hand on my head, for although you already bear my ins- insignia of golden streaks on your chest, I regard this honor as merely a kind of false prestige for me. You show your rare mercy to your devotees, not to me. Of course, you are the supreme absolute controller, and no one can understand your motives. This is also a very nice point. He says that in many places, the Shastras describe the Supreme Lord as being more inclined towards his devotees than towards his wife, who always remains on his chest. Bhagavatam it is said. नतात मे प्रियतमाम् आत्मयोनिर्न संकरः न च संकर्षणो न नैवात्मा च यथा भवान्. Here Krishna plainly says that his devotees are more dear to him than Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Shankarsana, the goddess of fortune, even his own self. So, and Sukadeva Goswami says, नेमं विरिञ्चो न भवो न सिरि अपि अङ्गसंश्रय प्रसादं लेभिरे गोपी यत्तत् प्राप्य विमुक्तिदात्. The Supreme Lord, who can award liberation to anyone, showed more mercy towards the gopis than to Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, or even Goddess of Fortune, who is his own wife and is associated with his body. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam says, Na Nayam Shriyo Anga Nitantarate Prasada Swairyo Nalina Gandarcham Kutonya Rasotsavasya Bhujadanda Grihita Kanta Labdhasisham Yadudagat Brajasundarinam. The gopis received benediction from the Lord that neither Lakshmi nor the most beautiful dancers in the heavenly planet could attain. In the Rasa dance, the Lord showered his favor to the most fortunate gopis by placing his arms on their shoulders and dancing with each of them individually. No one can compare with the gopis who received the causeless mercy of the Lord. So, this is very nicely mentioned. So, that Lord is showing more favor. So this is a nice purport actually. Prabhupada is writing very elaborate purport on this. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said that no one can receive the real favor of Supreme Lord without following in the footsteps of gopis. Even the goddess of fortune could not receive the same favor as the gopis, although she underwent severe penance for many years. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discussed this point with Venkata Bhakta in Madhya Leela, Chaitanya Charitamrita. The Lord inquired. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling to Venkat Bhatta. The Lord inquired from Venkat Bhatta, your worshipful goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, always remains on the chest of Narayana, and she is certainly the most chaste woman in the creation. However, my Lord is Lord Sri Krishna, a cowherd boy, engaged in tending cows. Why is it that Lakshmi, being so chaste, I want to associate with my Lord? Just to associate with Krishna, Lakshmi abandoned all transcendental happiness in Vaikunta and for a long time accepted vow and regulative principles and performed unlimited austerities. So, even Lakshmi, she is leaving Vaikunta to get Krishna. Venkat Bhatta replied, Lord Krishna, Lord Narayana and Manan the same. So, Venkat Bhatta is arguing. But the pastime of Krishna are more relishable due to their sportive nature. They are very pleasing for Krishna Shaktis. This Krishna Narayana both same personalities. Lakshmi's association with Krishna does not break her vast chastity. Rather, it was in great fun that goddess of fortune want to associate with Krishna. The goddess of fortune considered that her vow of chastity would not be damaged by a relationship with Krishna. Rather, by associating with Krishna, she could enjoy the benefit of rasa dance. If she wanted to enjoy herself with Krishna, what fault is there? Why are you joking so about this? So Venkat Bhatta is arguing with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I know that there is no fault in goddess of fortune, but still she could not enter into rasa dance. That is the point. We hear this from the scriptural revealed scriptures. The authorities of Vedic knowledge met Lord Ramachandra in Dandakaranya, and by their penance and austerities, they were allowed to enter into rasa dance. But can you tell me why goddess of Lakshmi could not get the opportunity? Others entered. The sages they could enter. Vedas they became Vedas. Srutichari Gopas entered. Rishichari Gopis entered. All of them entered. Lakshmi could not enter. Then Venkat Bhatta said, I cannot enter into the mystery of this incident. I am an ordinary living being. My intelligence is limited. I am always disturbed. How can I understand the pastimes of Supreme Lord? They are deeper than millions of oceans. Then Lord Chaitanya has replied, Lord Krishna has a very specific character. He attracts everyone's heart by the mellow of his personal conjugal love. By following the footsteps of the inhabitants of the planet known as Vraja, Loka, or Goloka, Vrindavan, one can attain the shelter of lotus feet of Krishna. So the point is, unless you go with the devotees of Vrindavan, he will not allow. However, the inhabitants of planets do not know Krishna is the supreme Lord. That is their speciality. Unaware that Krishna is supreme Lord, the residents of Vrindavan like Maharaj, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, Gopis treat Krishna as their beloved son or lover. Mother Yashoda accepts him as her son and sometimes binds him to a grinding mortar. Krishna's cowherd boyfriend thinks he is an ordinary boy and gets up on his shoulder. In Golok Vrindavana, no one has any desire other than to love Krishna. The conclusion is that one cannot associate with Krishna unless he has fully received the favor of the inhabitants of Rajabhumi. It's a very important point. We cannot get Vrindavan without the mercy of a Brajavasi. Therefore, when wants to be delivered by Krishna directly, he must take to the service of the residents of Vrindavan, who is who are unalloyed devotees of the Lord. So this is the point. We will complete Lakshmiji's prayers. रम्ये रम्ये रम्यके च भगवत् प्रियतमां मात्साय अवतार रूप तद्वर्ष पुरुषस्य मनो प्रदृष्टं स क्रीडामि अपि महता भक्ति योगेनार्धयातीथं चोडाहराति. So now Lakshmi's prayers are over. Now we come to Ramyaka Varsha. Sukadeva Goswami continued in Ramyaka Varsha, where Vaivasvata Manu rules, the Supreme Lord appeared as Lord Matsya. At the end of the last era, the Chakshusha Manvantara, Vaivasvata Manu now worships Lord Matsya in his pure devotional service and chants the following mantras. So we will just take one mix. Om Namo Bhagavate Mukhya Maya Namo सत्वाय प्राणायु ओ प्राणायुजयसे सहसे बलाय महामत्साय नम इति. So they're all having bija mantras, Om, Him, like that. So very powerful mantras. I offer my respectful obeisance unto Supreme Lord, who is pure transcendental. He is the origin of all life, bodily strength, mental power, and sensory ability. Known as Matsyavatara, gigantic fish incarnation, he appeared first among all the incarnations. Again, I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. So, Jayadeva Goswami, Pralaya Payodi Jale Dashatabhanati Vedam Vihati Viharachat Ittama Vedam Keshavadrita Meena Sharira Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Soon after the cosmic creation, the entire universe was inundated with water. At that time, Lord Krishna, Keshava, incarnated a gigantic fish to protect the Vedas. So, fish are generally considered a mixture of mode of ignorance and passion. But we must understand that every incarnation of Supreme Lord is completely transcendental. There is never any deterioration of the Supreme Lord's original transcendental quality. Therefore, the word Satvaya is used here, meaning pure goodness on the transcendental platform. Many incarnations of Supreme Lord, Varaha Murti, Kurma Murti, Hayagriva Murti, and so on. Yet, we should never think any of them material. So, अन्तर्बहिर्चाखिललोकपालकैर् अदृष्टरूपो विचरस्य पुरुस्वनः स ईश्वरस्त्वं यद् इदं वसेन्या नामानायता नमानायता धुरमयामि नरस्त्रियम्. My dear Lord, just as puppeteers control their dancing dolls and the husband control his wife, your lordships control all the living entities in the universe, such as Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Although you are in everyone's heart as a supreme witness and commander of, and are outside everyone as well, the so called leaders of societies, communities, and countries cannot realize you. Only those who hear the vibrations of the Vedic mantras can appreciate you. Purpose writing, very huge purpose. He says that Supreme Lord is Antar Bahir, present within and without. One must overcome the delusion caused by Lord's external energy and realize his presence both externally and internally. So, Kunti Maharaj says, Nato Natyadaro Yata. He is an actor dressed as a player. So, Lord is within also, without also. That is the most Prabhupada's writing that everyone is under control, Supreme Lord, like dancing dolls controlled by puppeteer or woman controlled by her husband. A woman is compared to a doll who Dharumayi because she has no independence. She should always be controlled by a man. Still, due to false prestige, a class of women want to remain independent. What to speak of women? All living entities are Prakriti, female, and therefore dependent on the Supreme Lord, as Krishna explained in Bhagavad Gita. Aparayam itastvanyam prakritim viddhime param. So, self-realization means to understand one's subordinate position in relation to the Lord. Very nice point. When one thus enlightened, he surrenders to Supreme Lord and is liberated from the clutches of material energy. In other words, unless one surrenders to lotus feet of Lord, the material energy in itself, in its many varieties, will continue to control him. No one in the material world can deny that he is under control. So following Vedic mantra confirm this point. Eko hi vai Narayana asit. So only Purusha is Narayana. Because they do not realize the natural constitution position of living entity, they concoct names like Daridra Narayana, Swami Narayana, Nitya Narayana. Our Narayana is actually supreme controller, this understanding is simple. Okay, thank you all very much. Any questions, comments? Okay, we'll end here. Thank you all very much. Shankara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada.